Minitab is the leading global provider of software and services for quality improvement and statistics education. Quality Analysis Results. For more information, visit minitab.com.
Hello, this video is a companion to the worked example for the independent two-sample t-test. Here I'm using Minitab release 17. So you would choose Stat and Basic Statistics. Here we're doing a two-sample t-test. Now if the data have been stored in Minitab in one of the worksheets, there are a couple of options available to us. Here the default is stating that both samples are in one column, and then you would choose the sample IDs to split them up. Alternatively, if each sample is in its own column, then you would choose this option. But in our case, the summary statistics have been summarized and just provided to us, so we choose Summarize Data. For the first group, the sample size was 17. The sample mean, x bar, was 4.1, and the sample standard deviation was 0.9. And for the second group, there were 19 observations, sample mean was 3.7, and the sample standard deviation was 1.1. Now if you click on options, there are a few things that can be adjusted here. For example, if you want to use a different hypothesized difference, here we're using the default of 0. In other words, under the null hypothesis, we're assuming that these means are equal. If you don't want to choose that option and provide a different value inside here, then you could do so. Another thing to consider for our example is that we are assuming for the alternative hypothesis that these means are not equal. If, however, you wanted to choose, let's say that the difference is less than the hypothesized difference, you would choose this option here. In our case, I'm staying with the default because that's what we did in the worked example. And another important thing to consider is we are assuming equal variances for this worked example. Note that in the default, the Satterthwaite-Welch approach to coming up with these degrees of freedom is what Minitab would be using, unless you put a check mark inside here, just as we're going to do now. Of course, when you do assume equal variances, then we're going to have n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom, which in this case would be 17 plus 19 minus 2. So we should be winding up with 34 degrees of freedom. Let's find out if that's the case. If we click OK and OK again, then yes, the t-statistic is 1.19 and we get a p-value of 0.244 with 34 degrees of freedom.
For more information on statistical methods for quality improvement, visit keithbauer.com.